The forest was unusually quiet that evening. The kind of silence that hummed with hidden life, rustling leaves, distant cries, and the low whisper of the wind curling through silver-leaf trees. Ethan stopped beside a mossy stone, brushing sweat from his brow. He'd been hiking for 2 hours, searching for a new campsite, when he heard it. A soft whimper like a child trying not to cry. He turned toward the sound. First he saw nothing. Then the brush shivered, and out stumbled the strangest creature he'd ever seen. It looked like a tiny fox, but not quite. Her fur shimmered faintly, gold fading into crimson at the tips, and her eyes glowed with liquid amber. She was trembling, a thin vine tangled around one of her paws. Hey, easy there," Ethan whispered, crouching low. "I won't hurt you." The little fox kit whimpered again, backing up until her tail hit a root. Her small chest rose and fell in panic. Ethan reached slowly, took out his pocket knife, and cut the vine loose. The creature froze but didn't run. She sniffed his hand, and to his surprise, her nose was warm like a human's. "There you go," he said softly. "You're free." The kid blinked up at him. Then she stepped closer and pressed her head against his palm. Ethan smiled despite the strangeness of it all. He'd always had a soft spot for lost things, and this little one seemed very lost indeed. That night, he built a small campfire and cooked some instant noodles. The kit watched him from a short distance, her tail curling and flicking curiously. When he offered her a bit of boiled egg, she accepted, daintily nibbling it. "You're something else," Ethan murmured. "Not from around here, are you?" The fox tilted her head as if trying to understand. Then, before he could blink, her form shimmered, and suddenly a tiny girl, no older than 5, with fox ears and a golden tail, sat before him wearing nothing but a frightened look. Ethan nearly dropped his bowl. What the hell?" The girl's eyes widened with equal panic. She squeaked and covered herself with her tail, trembling. Okay. Ethan raised his hands. "It's all right. I'm not gonna hurt you, I promise." She sniffled and said something in a melodic, strange language. Then she pointed at the forest, tears filling her glowing eyes. "You're lost," Ethan guessed. "Your family's out there somewhere." She nodded. "Well," he sighed, rubbing his face, "guess we're finding them tomorrow." They traveled at dawn. The girl walked beside him in her fox form, nimble and alert. Every so often she'd dart ahead, sniff the air, and return with a frustrated whine. Ethan began to notice things: claw marks on trees, patches of scorched earth, and strange silver feathers scattered like fallen stars. By afternoon, the forest opened into a clearing where mist drifted like breath. At the center stood a ring of ancient stones. The fox kit stopped dead. Her ears perked. Then she bolted forward. "Wait!" Ethan called, chasing after her. The ground trembled. Light rippled through the air, and from the mist stepped a woman, tall, regal, and impossibly beautiful. Her hair flowed like liquid fire, her 9 tails fanned behind her, each one glowing faintly. The kit ran to her, yipping with joy. The woman knelt, gathering her child close. Then her golden eyes turned toward Ethan. "You found my daughter," she said in perfect English. Her voice was like wind through bells. Ethan blinked, stunned. "You can talk." "I can do many things, human." Her gaze softened. "You showed kindness to one of my kind. That is rare." "I just helped a lost kid," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. "Anyone would've." "Not anyone." She studied him for a long moment. "You entered the border of our realm and lived. You treated her as your own. That carries a bond." Ethan frowned. "A bond?" She smiled, and the forest seemed to lean closer. By our laws, when a human saves one of us, he becomes kin. You may claim reward, or refuse it. I don't need a reward. Her eyes shimmered with something ancient. Then you will have something greater, a promise. She rose, her tail swirling like flame. I am Lady Iona, Queen of the Kitsune. I offer you my hand in union. Together we could bridge our worlds. Ethan's mouth went dry. Marriage. Wait, what? Iona laughed softly, the sound like chimes in wind. Do not fear. It would bind our lives, not our bodies, unless you wished it. Through it, your heart would never age. You would walk between realms freely. He hesitated. The forest glowed brighter now, colors alive with otherworldly beauty. He thought of his lonely life, the tiny apartment, the meaningless job, the ache of never belonging anywhere. He looked at the little fox girl, now nestled in her mother's tails, smiling sleepily. Would it make her happy? He asked. Iona's expression softened. She would gain a father. And you, a home. Ethan took a breath. Then he stepped forward and bowed his head. Then I accept. Light enveloped them both. The forest dissolved into a storm of gold petals, each one humming with energy. When the glow faded, Ethan stood in a place between worlds, mountains floating in endless twilight, rivers of starlight winding below. Iona stood beside him, hand in his, smiling faintly. From this moment, she whispered, you are bound to the Kitsune realm. Protect it as you did my daughter. The little fox kit yawned and turned into her child form, clutching his arm. Papa, she murmured. Ethan smiled, warmth blooming in his chest. Guess I'm family now. Iona's laughter echoed softly through the starlit air. And somewhere, beneath the sky that never truly darkened, a human and a fox queen began a story neither world would ever forget. As the light faded and the last golden petals drifted away, Ethan found himself standing in a realm that seemed to breathe with magic. The sky shimmered in hues of violet and silver. Floating mountains glowed with veins of crystal, and rivers of starlight flowed between them. It was like stepping into a dream, one that pulsed with life and warmth. Lady Iona still held his hand. Her golden eyes softened as she looked at him, not as a stranger but as someone chosen by fate. From this moment, she said, her voice carrying through the glowing air, you are bound to our world, Ethan Walker. You will walk between realms as my equal, protector of the Kitsune, and father to my child. The little fox kit, now in her small human form, hugged his leg tightly. Papa, she whispered, her voice sleepy and content. Ethan knelt, resting his hand on her silky hair. I'm not sure I deserve this, he murmured, smiling softly. But I'll try. Iona stepped closer, her 9 tails fanning around them like a shield of light. You already have, she replied. You showed kindness where others would have turned away. That is what makes a heart worthy. As she spoke, her power flowed through him, a warmth that wrapped around his soul, filling him with a sense of belonging he'd never known before. The ache of his old life, the loneliness, the noise of the city, the empty nights, dissolved into nothing. Ethan looked up at the shimmering sky, realizing he wasn't lost anymore. He had found something greater than home, a family, a purpose, and a love written in the stars. Anna smiled. Welcome home, my heart. And the realm of Foxfire glowed brighter than ever.